Ever wondered how AI can understand the big picture behind data, like recognizing patterns in a crowd, predicting how a drug affects a whole population, or even decoding the language of DNA? Today, we're exploring a breakthrough technique called Generative Distribution Embeddings, GDEs. That's rewriting the rules of how machines learn from complex data. Let's break it down. So, what's a distribution? Think of it as the blueprint of a group. Instead of looking at one cell or one DNA snippet, GDEs study the whole population, like analyzing a forest biodiversity instead of a single tree. This shift is huge because real-world data isn't just random, it's shaped by underlying patterns. GDEs help AI see those patterns, not just individual pieces. Here's how it works. GDEs use two key parts, an encoder and a generator. The encoder takes a batch of data, like 1,000 cells, and maps it into a hidden space that captures its essence. It's like turning a messy kitchen into a recipe card. You're not just noting ingredients, but understanding how they blend. Then, the generator uses that recipe to recreate the original data, but smarter. It's not just copying, it's learning the language of the distribution. Why does this matter? Traditional AI struggles with complex data because it focuses on individual points. GDEs, though, see the forest. For example, in biology, they can model how cells change under stress using 20 million images, or predict how genetic tweaks affect gene activity. They even outperformed old methods in tasks like decoding DNA methylation patterns across 253 million sequences. The magic. GDEs preserve geometric relationships between distributions. Imagine comparing two forests. Instead of just counting trees, GDEs measure biodiversity, climate, and evolution, using a mathematical tool called Wasserstein distances. This means they can see how distributions differ in meaningful ways, not just superficially. And the applications? They're everywhere. From mapping cell populations in cancer research to designing synthetic yeast promoters, GDEs are tackling problems that once seemed impossible. One study even showed they could predict gene responses with 70% accuracy, a huge leap for genomics. So next time you hear about AI generating art or decoding DNA, remember, behind the scenes, techniques like GDEs are helping machines understand the world in ways we're only just beginning to grasp. But that's not all. Let's dive deeper into another game-changing concept. Ever wondered how AI models like chatbots or translation tools know exactly what to say? It's not magic, it's math. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on a clever trick that helps AI models listen to hints and generate smarter responses. Let's explore how prefix embeddings are transforming transformer models. Imagine you're writing a story. You don't just start typing randomly. You probably have a rough idea of the plot, characters, or tone. That's what a prefix embedding is, a little roadmap that guides the AI model before it starts generating text. Think of it like giving the model a sneak peek of what you're looking for. For example, if you want a sentence about climate change, you might feed it a prefix like the impact of rising temperatures, and the model uses that to shape its response. But how does this actually work? Well, the prefix isn't just a keyword. It's a continuous vector, a mathematical representation of ideas. This vector gets prepended to the input data, so the model sees both the hint and the real information at the same time. Then the model's attention mechanism, its way of focusing on important parts of the input, adjusts to let the prefix influence the entire sequence. It's like having a GPS that updates your route as you drive, ensuring you stay on track. Now here's where things get interesting, fine-tuning. When training these models, researchers have two options. They can either freeze parts of the existing model, like keeping the core structure intact and only tweaking a small part, or fine-tune the entire system from scratch. Freezing is like using a pre-built recipe, but adjusting the seasoning. It's faster and cheaper, but might not capture every nuance. Fine-tuning, on the other hand, lets the model learn everything new, which can be more powerful but requires more computational power. The paper shows both approaches have their place, depending on the task and resources. But how do you train these models effectively? The researchers experimented with learning rate schedules, which control how fast the model learns. For simpler tasks, a steady pace works fine. But for complex models, they used a cosine annealing schedule. Imagine a car gradually slowing down as it approaches a stop sign. The learning rate starts high, then smoothly decreases in a wave-like pattern. This helps the model avoid overshooting and converge more reliably, like a driver adjusting speed to stay safe. Of course, there's a catch: computational trade-offs. Larger datasets and bigger batch sizes improve accuracy, but they also demand more processing power. It's like cooking a gourmet meal. More ingredients and a bigger oven help, but you need the right tools. The paper highlights that balancing these factors is key to building efficient, effective models. So what's the takeaway? Prefix embeddings, fine-tuning strategies, and smart training methods are all part of the puzzle in making AI models smarter, faster, and more adaptable. Whether it's generating text, predicting gene expressions, or modeling biological systems, these techniques are pushing the boundaries of what machines can do. Thanks for watching. What do you think AI could learn next? Let's discuss in the comments.